I have to sort of like take a step back and look and who's giving the advice and what they've been doing and why is it that they default to this, like we were saying before, the way you understand money in the old set of rules versus the way that you do now. Maybe that guy is just so far removed, like the one who's giving the advice, the millionaire mindset guy, he might be so far removed from the kid who's 20 years old, 21 years old, that he doesn't know what else to say because he just doesn't have the same frame of reference that he used to.
That is such a good point because oh my God, there's so many ways I could take this one because all right, in my job, right? Basically I was working for nothing but really rich people. These are the people that could afford my services as well as like they wanted you have to have quite a bit of money if you want to be spending $15,000 in plants on your property, just on plant, like no out of college person or just some freshly minted, like a college grad and stuff, an entry level job in a business is going to have like $15,000 in irrigation and plants and everything. Right. So I would talk to these people and they were like all the people when I would talk to them, they were pretty much like their hustle died. Almost. Yeah. They were living off of like investment income and it was like they're
not hungry anymore.
They're not hungry anymore. Or and on top of that, like what they did to get them rich doesn't work anymore. And they were basically just saved up their equity and their capital and basically invested in real estate and stocks, which was like the normal. So a big thing when you look at a multimillionaire, especially when they're older and stuff, you're like, they're not typically for the most part, unless they still run their business. It's not really what they tell you is pretty terrible advice for the most part because what got them to the rodeo, that rodeo packed up and
right. Well, their first successful offer that made them the millionaire in the first place, it might be something completely unrelated. They were in the right place at the right time. They figured out the niche. They had a really successful offer. If you know anything about like Jeff Walker and product launch formula, right? And so suddenly they make $1 million or multi-million dollars off of one offer. It was really, really great. And then, so they have a different opinion about money and themselves, and they're, like, I must be a genius, right? And so what happens is then they're not able to repeat that same success doing like, okay, well, now, and
you're talking about the young guy that made it quick.
Exactly. The nouveau rich, like the newly rich. And so they come back and they go, okay, well, now I gotta top that. Now I gotta figure out what's the next thing. And clearly I can do it because I wouldn't be a millionaire if I wasn't a genius and figured this thing out in the first place, right? And then they realize that they actually can't do that. And so then what happens is they kind of shift into the guru set, which is
success
like
porn.
Now it's not about whatever it was that they were doing before. Now it's how to be a success, right? Because I got $1 million and here's how I was a success. And those are usually the guys who are selling you like, oh, just got to think differently. And you got to, get up at 4 a.m. and hustle and, no days off and shit like that. And it's like, and they're just repeating pretty much what the standard template is. So now they're no longer they're not about what they made them a bunch of money. It's about being the success guy to teach you how they made a bunch of money, right? So their job is about advice now and not about what their original thing was.
I'm the mindset guy, right?
Right.
Shout out to Crypto Mindset.
No, well, I'm always really, I use mindset all the time. I'm not shitting on mindset. I'm just saying that it's but
it's a transitional grift that they're doing.
It's predictable.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing: is the guys who are really the real geniuses, they can repeat it. They can go, you know what? Times are tough. I was a millionaire before. It's the guys who go from rags to riches to rags again, and then to riches again. Like the guys who are able to do that. Those are the dudes that I want to listen to. Right. Those are the guys. Say mindset. Okay, I'll listen to you because you didn't have anything. You made a shit ton of money. You went bankrupt, got zeroed out. And after you got zeroed out, you came back on top after all of that too. So there has to be something that you figured out along the way. That's the guy that I want to talk to, not the guy who had one success and he can't repeat it and now he's a mindset guru.
Right.
So you have to be really careful of that because there's a lot of guys that get into that. Because what in the nouveau rich thing, what made them, they happen to be in the right place at the right time, too much, too young, too fast. Hopefully they can hang on to it and they make wise decisions. So I always use Myron from Fresh and Fit as the example here. Myron made a lot of money really, really quick. And to his credit, he has taken that and been a very good steward of that money.
Yep.
So, big props to him for having done that. But, at some point you kind of have to say, am I really a genius or did I just I just jumped on this and I really hammered it home at the right time. And now I'm going to see so either get out of the space or figure out, stay hungry and do the next thing.
And typically the people that Rel's kind of talking about are people who just catch a trend and it's popping for a while and they manage to capitalize on it. It's like, imagine like during the time, like we're, as an example, let's just say, what is those fidget spinners, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you're the guy who got fidget spinners really
Which I
popular.
have. I have one. Yes. I mean, it's like for people with ADD, like,
Yeah, you're just playing with these toys, right? And then you capitalize on it, and then sales start going down, and then but you made a lot of money off that, and they transition to something else. And there's nothing wrong
I
with
created the keyboard tie.
that. Yeah, the keyboard, yeah. Pen rocks, you guys.
What have
Pen
you
rocks.
done? Nothing.
I made Dilbert.
Yeah. It's like, exactly. Are you a one-hit wonder, or are you a real musician? Are you a real band? And I think that's really what it comes down to. Are you like a real artist? Are you a real genius? Or are you just somebody who was in the right place